You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Dear Bros. I'm Andy Smith.
I'm Tim Fulton.
Dear Bros, where we rip an advice column and pretend that they wrote into us. Just bullshit about it for a while.
Yep, that's what we
So
do.
this is actually Tim's turn to pick this one. I'm interested.
Sketchy friends. Keep or ditch. So I say friends as plural because I feel like we can all relate to it, but it's actually kind of specific.
Okay.
So the actual title of this one is called Friendship Evaporates Amidst Shoplifting and Shortchanging. Dear Abby,
Okay.
I had a friend I adored. She was someone I'd known for over 20 years. Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse. That's a great way to start a podcast. I had known her for over 20 years, but I had to say goodbye to her. I realized she is a shoplifter and also doesn't tip at restaurants.
Ooh.
When she shoplifted, I was with her. I had no idea she was doing it until we got back to the car and one of the items fell out of her bag. I was appalled. I told her to never do it again when we were together, and I've tried not to shop with her since. I realized she wasn't leaving tips when her receipt blew away with a gust of wind.
Whoa. Hold on. I'm going to call. I smell like I'm passing a farm. Okay. Item fell out of the bag. Okay. A receipt blew away with a gust of wind.
All right, I see where you're going with this one, but I feel like it's not the moral of the story.
I
But
know
I see
it's
where
not.
you're
I'm
going with it.
Just say you're snooping.
You're snooping.
Snoop-a-loop.
Where was I? She was in the restroom when I picked it up and saw there was no tip for the server, who was working very hard. I told her I didn't feel comfortable going places with her under these circumstances, especially with how things have changed during COVID. The last straw was when I caught her trying to sneak into a musical event. There are musicians in my family. I know how they or others have struggled during these hard times. She has more than enough money to cover these costs. I don't understand why she does it. The problem is I feel guilty. Should I reach out and suggest we do things that don't involve music, restaurants, or shopping? Maybe we can just go for walks and talk. I miss her friendship. Taken aback in Cali.
Okay, so if you think that this stuff just applies to those things, you're wrong.
No, you're yeah.
And if you let her in your house, you know the silverware might go missing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the extent.
We don't know the extent, but
Okay.
you ain't wrong. People like that get like a high off of doing shit like that. That's what it's about.
Yeah, I would say that probably the worst part about this. Granted, I'm assuming that the shoplifting is being done at big businesses and all this stuff. The tipping, I think, is the worst part.
Yeah.
Only because that's directly hurting somebody that's making not a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they work the way that our system's set up over here is that they make their money off tips. Now, I won't go out to eat anywhere with somebody if they have like I'm not going to tip. Like
Yeah.
if it's not it's not like I'm not going to tip because the lady spilled a drink all over me or something, which whatever. It's just, I don't tip. Two guys that I know of, one of them just wouldn't tip. Like, sat down with another friend. They got their food at a diner, and he left her a quarter. And when pushed to the subject of, dude, what, really? She's just doing her job.
Yeah.
That was the answer. Another guy, this is before phones, he had a tipper card in his little thing. And he would take it out, and he had a little slide rule on it. So if the bill was, $18.56, he would slide it to $18.56, and he would leave the exact change for a 15% tip, like $1.67, and he would put 67 cents and $1 on the counter. Yeah.
You just want to beat those people. Beat them.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like this lady's like, obviously has a problem with those things. I think the music one too, like sneaking into a concert, if you're a kid or whatever, I people do stupid stuff.
We've all done stupid stuff.
Sounds like they're older though.
I mean, she's had the friend for 20 years. Let's go out on a limb and say they met in high school. So she's probably our age, to be fair. So they're probably in their mid-30s if they've known each other since high school.
Yeah.
So at a minimum, we're going to say 35.
Yeah, so
At a maximum, she could be 155.
I'm trying to think. Would I try to sneak into a music concert?
The worst I've ever done was when I was a kid. I bought a ticket to go see a movie, and I would sneak into another R-rated movie. But that's still paying for it.
You know what we would do?
What?
When we were younger, in like middle school, high school, we would go to the movies, and not everyone had a lot of money, so we would put our money together and buy one ticket, and then that person would go in and go to the back bathroom
And
open the back door, and like 25 of us would walk in, and we got away with it most of the time. So like it would be like a movie that had been out, and they had like, because you couldn't go into a full theater.
Yeah.
Because you would have no seats.
You would have no seats, yeah. So you have to go see something that's not there.
Yeah, so they would be looking like, freaking, I don't know, Little Nicky would get out or whatever was on back then. And they'd be like, oh, we sold 4 tickets. There's 35 people coming out of this theater. And then like they ended up getting cameras. So that was done.
Dude, we were such good kids. Like such good bad kids, my friends and I. My buddy worked at a deli that had a liquor store attached to it.
Okay.
We would and that's how we would get our booze. But we would pay for it.
Yeah.
So he would go in, he would pay for the booze, and he would smuggle it out because we were all 17 at the time. But
there's nothing. I mean, you're arguably getting the guy more in trouble if he gets caught, the guy that works there, than you would if you just stole it.
Not from the owner.
No, but he's selling to a minor.
They are a minor.
What do you mean?
They were a minor too. We were all 17.
Even the guy that worked there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he was really on the deli side.
Oh, I got you.
But he would slip into the
I see what you're saying.
Liquor store side.
So as far as this lady's concerned,
let's get back to the subject at hand.
Yeah. Items fell out of her bag. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get picked up for shoplifting right now. So I would say I'd have a problem with it, but I don't think this lady can stop herself. Some people just do that shit.
Yeah.
I know another guy who once in a while, just for the fuck of it, he'll go into a big store like a Target or whatever, fill up a shopping cart with like big items, like items that take up a lot of room that aren't very cheap. Pay for it, walk out, come back in an hour later with the receipt, fill it up with the same material, and just walk out. He's done it dozens of times, and he never has gotten caught.
That kind of shit bothers me.
And he's just like, yeah, he goes, I don't do it because I can't afford it. He goes, I just like doing it sometimes. He goes, I've never done it in a small business. It's always giant companies. I'm like, yeah, I get it, Robin Hood, but I mean,
still stealing.
Still, it's a crime.
Yeah.
You go to jail for that. But yeah, so some people just have lax stuff. Like, I wouldn't mind if somebody like, I guess, you know what it is? If it was like a situational thing, I wouldn't care. But the fact that it's like seems to be like her gig,
that's
what I would have the problem.
It's how she has fun.
Yeah, and like no thief wants to like tell everyone that they steal.
Yeah.
But like she obviously has not been able to hide it from her. So I don't think that there's anything that you're going to be able to find to go with her that you're not going to be annoyed with how she handles things, because everything you have to pay for, like going out to food or going out to eat, it requires, usually a tip if you sit down.
Yeah, you can't just, I mean, I guess you could have just a walking buddy, but it's not going to, what are you going to do? Like if she invites you over, be like, no, I can't have like personal contact with you. It's just a walking thing. Like, no, like,
yeah,
leave well enough alone.
Yeah, and you can't rat on her.
No.
You'll be a snitch.
No, you can't be a snitch.
No. What if she's hardcore?
Snitches
you don't know.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like you're kind of fucked it up already by telling her that you don't like her anymore. So I would say that, yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
I would say don't just cut ties. You have a problem with it, and she ain't gonna stop.
I'm in the same boat. Leave well enough alone. You already got out. Stay out.
Yeah.
I get the whole missing the friendship thing, but sometimes it's not worth it to go back in.
Yeah. The reason why I'm saying this is only because it seems to bother her that much.
Yeah.
If she was just like, I feel kind of weird about it, I don't really know, then I'd be like, all right. but she's appalled.
Yeah.
So you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
You're done.
Fair enough.
You're done. You're done.
You're fired. Dear Taken Aback. This is Appy's advice for all the viewers out there. Dear Taken Aback, I don't advise it. The woman you miss, I hesitate to refer to her as your friend, is selfish, stingy, dishonest, self-centered, and lacks compassion for others. You need her in your life like a moose needs a hat rack. The fuck.
What kind of 1940s throwback joke is that?
The last one we read had...
What is the deal with moose hat racks?
The last one we read at least had Shakespeare in it. This one just says moose rack. Find walking companions who are caring, generous, and honest, with whom to get your steps in. I don't think walking was the point, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't agree with that joke, but it's actually, it's unique.
Yeah. Give her the benefit of the doubt on this one.
Yeah. So, I guess I do agree with her advice for the most part.
Yeah. I like this one only because we don't know people who are, you do apparently, but not everyone has a heavy shoplifting friend, but we all know those people who can be stingy or you go out to eat with them and you're just like, ah.
You know what it is? The justification is that you have it in your head, and this is a weird thing. Do you know those people that your friends were, if any of your other friends did it, you'd be like, no, we're done. But because it's them, it's just this weird thing where you're like, that's just what they do.
Yeah.
And I trust them.
Yep.
I feel like you kind of have to grow up around knuckleheads though to have that. Because if you grow up straight laced, you don't know, you're stealing is bad. I have friends that have some quirks that if other people did it, I'd be like, you can never trust that person. Get them out of your house. Don't let them know where your safe is. But then I'm like, that person would never steal from me or anyone that they know that they're friends with. But they'll do it to others. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to explain it. You know what I mean? The guy that does the shoplifting thing, I would trust him more than most people who have a clean record to if he said he's going to do something, to do it and not take anything or do anything.
Okay.
But Walmart, don't trust him.
No.
That ain't happening.
Yeah. I also think about all the friends who get rowdy in public. Do you have any friends that you love hanging out with them, but they're like, let's go out to eat, and you're just like, you in public.
I might have know what that means or know what you're talking about.
I have this one friend who last time a bunch of us went out to eat, they get drunk and they get loud.
Yeah.
And so we were at a restaurant, a normal restaurant, and we were there at the same time as a kid's birthday party, a 5 or 6 year old's birthday party, and they were hammered. They were having a good time, but they're like, we went out to this place and we got fucking smashed, and you're just like, there's a bunch of girls opening up a pony over there. Come on, dude.
Yeah. There is that. I mean, I have a little rule where, because I worked in the bars and I know myself, so I have that thing where I'm like, listen, if you know that you're in a mood and you're gonna get a certain type of way, I just won't drink, or I won't drink to whatever. I'll just kind of know where I am now. Whereas when you're younger, you don't, and things break. So. But I know what you're talking about, because some people just they don't understand where they are, and when they get drunk,
it all goes out the window.
There's no hey, we're next to a family or whatever. It's just fuck you fucking this, talking about whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, but I get that too. I do get it, because it is fun depending on.
Yeah, my brother used to, real last thing, and then we're calling it. But my brother used to go to this family restaurant. There was this restaurant in our town. It was restaurant during the day, similar to where you bounced. Restaurant during the day, and then bar at night. And they would go early sometimes, eat, and then stay late to drink and whatnot. And whenever he would go there, the one time he put DMX on repeat on the jukebox. And the second time, and like we're talking like family sitting there, and the second time this song popped up, the guy actually came out, unplugged the jukebox, gave him $1, and was like, "We can't do this."
That's hilarious. Because me and my buddy Zach did the same thing, except because that's a perfect example where I'm like separate. We are not, but when we're together, we become that group.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is that all we're trying to do is make each other laugh and make it like uncomfortable for the other person or other people. So when we were in the bar, everyone hated Creed. So we realized that when we would play Creed, because me and him, as soon as a Creed song would come on, we would just start singing it in that like, hey you, hey me, like really, really loud and obnoxious. But the point of it was to look like we're those assholes, but it was for me and him's purpose.
Yeah.
Like the whole like they're gonna have conversations like these fucking douchebags, correct? Who are doing this, like, I can't believe people, like, we just thought it was funny.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was there one time, and he was a little more drunk than me. And he's like, dude, I was going to put Creed on. And I was like, do it. So he put, I think, Can You Take Me Higher on. And I was like, how much money do you have on you? And he's like, why? I'm like, can you pay to skip other people that put money in after you? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, play it like 6 times in a row. So he played Creed's Can You Take Me Higher 6 times in a row. And it was hilarious because all we were doing was we were looking around the bar. Like the first time it came on, we did like a couple like, hey, you, hey. And then we stopped. And the second time I was playing, you saw like 1 or 2 people like, did this just played? And then the third time it came on, people were like, what the fuck? And then like the fourth time, someone was like, are you fucking serious? And like several people saw us like howling, laughing in the bar. And they were like, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Like, yeah, it's our favorite song. It's our favorite song. We paid $25 to skip everyone else to play this 6 times in a row.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
That's like vanilla fun.
Yeah, that's the kind of fun I can get behind.
But you can imagine that like people being in a certain mood where they're like, just want to get the day off. Like, just drink it away. And then like Creed's Higher comes on 6 times in a row, and 2 douchebags are just like on the other side of the bar. Yeah. Yeah, I'm yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I know what you're talking about.
I approve of that one.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the original. All right, guys. Let us know in the comment section down below what you do with sketchy friends. Hey, what should this woman do? She should go back. Sounds, I don't know.
Can you take me high?
Or I don't know. I've lost all train of thought.
I've succeeded.
Creed.
Succeed.
Go watch Creed video. How
With arms wide open. That's another one we used to play.
Bye, everybody.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking